This podcast is just fun. It's all fake. Don't believe us. Look, do your own research.
Oh, there goes Rabbit.
Welcome to the show.
It's so rare that it's just two of us anymore. It feels odd.
I know.
Like, I wasn't sure who needed to say what there. So I just was like, we're just going to go together after the first. It worked fine.
For real, though.
Happy.
Because I actually had grown to really like our episodes because we were just like, nobody reins us in.
Yeah.
We just always go crazy when it's just the two of us.
It's been a minute.
But yeah, it's been a while. Because I feel like Mike, when it's us three, Mike does a good job of moderating.
Yeah.
And we might tag team each other and, pick on one or the other. But Mike is the moderator. When Courtney's on, she's very much the moderator.
Yeah.
But I feel like when all four of us are on, I'm the moderator. Is that weird how the dynamic works? Because like when all four of us are on, I'm always like, let's get come on.
Well, okay, so I think part of it is that when there's four on, everyone kind of recognizes that they can't be quite as like you can't just be a stream of talking,
right? Because
it just becomes too much. With three, you can kind of get away with it a little bit.
Yeah.
And so like when there's three of us, like I feel like we jump in on each other a bit more. And so like but you're a bit more aware, I think, of like that dynamic, like the fact that there's three other voices going, and so like you end up kind of reining stuff in a little bit here and there.
Right.
Whereas if it's just three, you don't feel quite as much pressure on that. And so we just go.
Yeah.
And when there's only two of us, it's just chaos.
Exactly. Well, we'll say this. Mike is on his cruise right now as we're recording this, so he'll be back by the time this airs. But we had made a rule that he needed to post regularly so that we knew he was okay. And he has ghosted us. There's nothing. The last thing he posted was a picture with Javi.
I was going to say, imagine Javi's the last person to see him.
Javi was explaining the food that they ate, and it's Nicaraguan food. And I was like, why did Mike get to eat it? I'm the foodie of the group. Like, that's so not fair. But no, for real though, imagine. I wonder if he encountered Gerald along the way. Gerald's like, I hear you've been talking about me on your show.
I think somebody said something about that on his post.
I think so. Yeah. Say hi to Gerald or something.
Watch out for Gerald.
What voice does Gerald have? I picture like
I feel like it's kind of gravelly.
He's got the like cigarette hanging out of his mouth. Just, I hear you talking about me on your show. You said some things that weren't true.
Why are you trying to make me look bad?
Like a 40-year smoker.
Now you gotta pay.
You can't do the freaking.
You're gonna build our music studio.
You're gonna write songs for me. You're gonna glorify Gerald in your songs.
I swear, if Mike comes back and writes a song about Gerald without having heard this,
it's over. Without having heard this, but he's definitely going to write a Gerald song now. I can hear it.
Dude. Okay, Mike. I know. At some point, you will listen to this. He's probably going to listen to it like on the plane ride back or something. Your next song, man. Do it for Gerald. But at some point, and you can tag me in for the voice, but at some point you got to have his voice in there, and it's got to be the like a rap by Gerald. He's like
Dolphin rap.
My name is Gerald.
I can't even come up with anything.
I want to,
Oh,
but
my
we need
gosh.
to not. We need
Probably
to
not. Yeah,
we need to not.
Save it for the song.
I will come up with. I'll ghostwrite
Oh,
this.
my
I don't
gosh.
care. It's happening.
but anyway, so Mike's hanging out with Gerald and Javi, I guess. No, he hasn't posted anything, and I'm like, oh, okay, good to know.
It doided.
I might have to keep that thing plugged in while it records. I'm experimenting a little bit with. Oh, it's recording now. Must have overheated, maybe? I don't know. I'm experimenting with our camera to see what it's going to look like and how to do video and get good at it before we do start going video. But anyway, and it just turned itself off.
Again. Yep.
Oh well. I wonder if it's getting hot. Oh yeah, that's hot.
Why do
how do you
your
prevent it from getting
electronics
hot?
overheat so much?
I don't know.
I've never had that problem.
I've never had that problem before either until started doing the podcast, basically. And it's like everything overheats. I don't know.
That's weird.
My phone. So I'm going to give, all right, shout out Xander. Xander, he did a special request that we record the Patreon after we record the regular show. And we're going to give it a try this week. So Patreon, we don't know what we're going to talk about on Patreon this week, so we can't tease it. But I'm going to tease the Patreon. Go to patreon.com/BA Bigfoot. We're getting a pretty decent group in there. And so now we could probably start doing like the lives and stuff like that every once in a while in there.
Noise.
But go to BA Bigfoot or go to patreon.com/BA Bigfoot. But he made a request that we do the Patreon afterwards. And his idea was, because sometimes we get into stuff on the show and we're like, oh, I can't really talk about that on the show. Well, if we do the Patreon afterwards, we can make a note and then talk about that on the Patreon. I was like, that's a good idea. So we're going to give it a shot. I don't know if there's going to be anything that we can't talk about on here, but it happens. And then we have a Patreon request episode, but we're going to wait until after Javi's episode. So we're going to record with Javi next Wednesday.
Okay.
Because I had got the time and the dates wrong because I thought Mike was back from vacation this week. So it was actually supposed to be a different week, but I screwed up on that. So it's next week. We're going to record with Javi and we're going to do the music industry episode.
Nice.
Then after that, we've got a request from a awesome Patreon member, and we're going to start digging into, and it's probably going to be a 3 or 4 part series, digging into the Skinwalker Ranch and all the different ranches and Frog Creek and all the ranches that are around there. There's quite a few of them. I think it's okay. So it's Skinwalker Ranch, Stardust Ranch, Bradshaw Ranch, and the Frog Creek Ranch are all kind of like weird. But anyway, so we'll be getting into that. So just a teaser stuff coming up.
Excellent. I need caffeine.
Me too. Actually, I don't. I worked out. What is that?
Rainstorm. The strawberry or guava strawberry. Sorry, I was
Looks tasty. Oh, you're giving it to me?
No, it's toast.
Oh, toast. I was like, are we trading?
Can bump.
I'm doing can bump. But I am drinking the Blue Snow Cone Bum Energy because I worked out this morning and I took more caffeine. I forgot to not take caffeine.
Oops. Oh, well. Ooh, that was a pretty crisp pop on mine.
It was. That was a really
I
crisp
then
pop.
proceeded to bump my pop filter. So, oops. It was a long day yesterday.
Yeah, it sounds
Tired.
like
Well, so...
I'm tired from yesterday, but for literally the exact opposite reason.
Yeah.
So get into it.
In the ancient days of giants, when the earth was wild and free, a creature roamed the valleys, cloaked in mystery. Is he born of angels' blood and man, a Nephilim so tall, or a shadow of the fallen, yet heeding the Maker's call? He's a biblically accurate Bigfoot, with a lineage from the skies. Not a myth or legend, but a truth that never dies. Is he a remnant of the Nephilim, a titan standing tall? Or does he have the word of God upon him, the last to hear the call?
I'm really hopeful that. Do you know? Did anybody that lives over near Crawford let you know if they got good rain over there?
I haven't
After
heard
the
yet.
lightning,
I haven't
'cause-
heard. It looks like it did.
Okay,
It looked like
I
it-
hope so.
Based on the
'cause,
radar, it looked like it just poured
dude,
over there.
that was a lot of lightning. Like a lot of lightning.
So I don't know how much of the lightning was actually hitting the ground.
There was quite a bit.
Over there?
I was over there watching. So
over
like
here
I
there
was
wasn't.
there as this thing was rolling in,
Yeah.
right? And there was a lot of lightning in front of me, south of me, north of me, and behind me. Like it was all around. And I didn't hit a drop of rain until the 385 junction going north.
Crazy. Yeah,
But
'cause
once I got
here-
over here, then it started dumping.
Yeah, because all of the lightning here was just cloud. Like it was, none of it was hitting the ground.
Really?
None of it. And so I was actually really optimistic. So I didn't know but I don't know. I haven't seen
There
anything
was quite
pop
a
up
bit.
at least.
I saw quite a few bolts hit the ground on my way back across. There was a lot of cloud lightning, but there was quite a few that went down. So
Yeah.
I really hope that they got a lot of rain all the way across there,
Yeah, for sure.
because we don't need no more fires like that. That
It's been, I mean, in
just
Shattering.
packed up.
See, in Shattering though, it has been pouring.
Yeah,
We've gotten so much rain in town, but
Yeah.
I don't know if that's translated to
Yeah.
anything outside of town because they've been tiny little pockets.
that one the other day. What day was that? Saturday, I think. No, Sunday. Sunday was, holy smoke, that was dense.
Yeah.
It just
Yeah.
dumped. That had to. How much? Do you know how much we got
I
out of that?
don't.
It had to be an inch, right?
I would bet,
in
yeah.
like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
The red dirt from the road up by the range building was washing down 10th Street.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Like it was running.
I saw that Gearing got baseball, softball hail the other day.
Oof.
There's a post going viral from somebody in Gearing that it's like a basketball of hail, but I'm 100% convinced that it's fake because two reasons. First reason, if you know how big hail balls form, they don't form the same way as the small hail balls.
Yeah.
Because the small hail balls,
It's
it's
small
just
ones that
water, water,
cluster
water, water,
together.
water.
Yeah.
Yeah. Big hail balls is all the hail balls got wet, touched, and then stuck.
Yeah.
And this thing is just a pure
One big
solid. It looks like
sphere.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, there's no way that that's a hail ball. But everybody in the comments, and somebody from there, so it's like, cool, you went viral and your post is fake. But if it's real, prove me wrong. But otherwise,
If it's real,
I'm
that's-
100%.
Well, if it's that big, that's got to be approaching record size. I would
Oh,
think you would
absolutely.
be seeing a lot of
Absolutely.
like meteorological
Yeah.
people, like people in that
Yeah.
sphere, people in that sphere, commenting on it.
Yeah. But
I
I did see it was going viral, and they did have really big hail. A lot of
Gross.
people, and then the Scottsbluff area got hit by pretty decent hail too. Kind of crazy, bro.
There's some big storms going across the last couple nights.
Yeah, we got some more hail too,
Yeah,
but
we got a good chance of storms next couple days yet.
okay. Yeah,
But
that'll be all right. Let's do it.
Okay. Bigfoot affirmation time.
All right, psychic time.
Okay.
I'm feeling this one.
The number
63. 17. I don't know.
13.
Oh,
Okay.
I had the 1 and the 3 on there. Two different numbers.
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
Needed to combine them.
Partial credit on that.
That's what I need to do. I need to start coming up with two numbers and then combining them. That seems to be the
Oh,
trick.
yeah, there you go. Your first guess, your second guess, and then like
Combine
merge
it.
them together
Yeah.
for a third. Yeah, there you go. Okay. We'll try that next week. I'll remind you.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah, you're probably right. Okay.
Keep searching and you'll find what you're looking for.
Like the reverse of that, actually. Like almost stand tall, even if you feel hidden.
Oh,
Like, you're on the other end. You're being looked for, and you're trying to be seen, found, observed. What?
lame.
NSA? What?
Huh? What? I know what I'm talking about.
What?
They're not real.
It's all this show's fake.
They're not my real dad.
I've been seeing some interesting stuff from our favorite deep end conspiracy theorist, Candace Owens.
Oh yeah,
I've been seeing a lot of posts from her on like more stuff from the Charlie Kirk
yeah.
thing. Yeah.
Gosh,
I'm not. I won't go any farther than that. If you want to look into him, that horse is just organic mush.
Yeah.
At this point,
if she is not a chaos agent, then the next two options are she just is doing it for the clicks, and she just is because she's getting a lot of money from these videos that go, even because I recognized being in social media, doing stuff, and actually getting to the point where like my accounts are making money and stuff.
Yeah.
Not a lot of money, but they're making money. That even on the low end of like, oh, my post made $10, kind of thing, that you start really wondering what is going to make this post go viral, and you stop caring a little bit about like the ethics of your post. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so you gotta have some real integrity in order to not get caught into like, because thinking about it, if your post, if you could make a post right now that was a complete bold-faced lie, but it made you $2 million, would you do it?
Depends on the lie.
It could be something simple. Just real, like, just a subtle.
My hair is green.
Say that we got in a fight on the show today, and you're not sure if you want to come back.
For $2 million? Absolutely.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even question it.
And everybody would then think that we got in a fight, obviously, but we didn't. And that you were thinking about leaving the show for $2 million. Bro, I will punch you in the face for $2 million and fabricate a fight.
Okay. That's one of my favorite things is the like, would you punch your wife in the face for $1 billion? And people like almost every time it's just a bunch of people just like, my wife would kill me if I didn't punch her for that money.
Financial security for the rest of your life for a tooth?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd let my wife hit me in the face with a baseball bat for $1 billion.
I'd let her go kick me in the no-no region as hard as she could for that much money. Bro, I will get it fixed.
$1 billion? $1 billion?
I've had the kids that I want for life. I'm all right.
Anybody who says no to that does not understand how much money that is.
Yeah.
Dude, I'd do it for $1 million. I'd do it for half a... My wife could... I'm not kidding. Hit me in the face with a baseball bat for $250,000. I would not even blink.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even flinch. You got it. All good. Yep. Teeth gone? Fine. Nose broken? Fine. Orbital broke? I'll start looking like Ilya Topuria. I'll take that.
Yeah. I'll go get some dentures and call it a day. And I'll enjoy having dentures on my brand new yacht.
Exactly.
Oh man. But there is a moral line. I think as a Christian, there's definitely a moral line.
Yes.
But for somebody like Candace Owens, where there is none. And so either she's gotten caught up by the money.
Yeah, so what's option two?
Or there's some real mental health issues that are just kind of cracked. And that's a real possibility. I mean, thinking about it, if somebody you were close to, who you weren't close to anymore, got publicly assassinated, taken out, and you watched it, there's a possibility that it could mess with your mental health.
Yeah.
And you could go PTSD full breakdown. And I mean, people who have PTSD have done and gone to crazy places.
Yeah.
And, and it just makes you wonder what really is going on with Candace one way or the other, because it's definitely not that she's got the truth, because I think she's a chaos agent, if I'm being real honest. I think a lot of them are chaos
roll with
agents.
that theory.
I think so. But
what else we got for current events?
I came across a piece of information that's pertinent to the show that we might need to dig into to do a full show on.
Really?
So apparently there's been a rampant. I don't know why my brain went rabbit. There's been a rabbit string of...
Oh, there goes rabbit.
Stop it. This is why we
give up that easy.
This is why we can't have nice things. This is why our show can't go viral, because I can't speak.
Nope, it don't matter.
Anyway, so how far?
No, you're not cutting that.
No, I'm not cutting it. It'll probably become part of the intro. Okay. Anyway, there's been a rampant string of sightings of the old Bigfoot.
Oh, really?
In Blair, Nebraska, at the Dollar General. So specific location. There has been more than 8 people come forward that they have seen a Bigfoot at or near the Dollar General in Blair, Nebraska. So, either some people got into some bad drugs, or maybe there was something there.
Did Eddie Hall come over to watch the World Cup?
Brian Shaw just stopped off real quick for gas. He was like, "Oh, hey." But no, legit though. There's been a ton of them, and I've came across them. I came across a video and then started looking into it a little bit, and sure enough, yeah, they're like, they're unverified claims and all of that, because that's, I mean,
we're just gonna call it the Blair Bigfoot.
The Blair Bigfoot. But yeah, there's been quite a few, and there's another podcast from Eastern Nebraska that has talked about it a couple times now. I've thought about getting in touch with them and seeing if they would come on the show or something, but like, I don't know anything about them. I haven't looked at their podcast yet, so I don't know if they're actually like legit or not. But yeah, kind of crazy. And apparently, so looking into it a little bit more, sightings along the Missouri River are not that uncommon.
That's not really surprising to me.
Yeah.
That is a lot of very dense forest along there.
Yeah.
Like, even like all the way up too. Like, I think about like going by Chamberlain, right?
Yeah.
Like the forest up there, dude, that is some thick old growth.
Yeah, and Blair's far enough. There's some wilderness there.
It's pretty. There's some pretty thick wood there.
Yeah, looking it up. And then there's that spot near
thick woods,
like Winnebago, and there's decent vegetation along the river here in pockets. So one way or the other, there could be something. Could be demonic too, like we always say. But
yep. So I mentioned the World Cup. Did you have any more on that?
No, that was it.
So I mentioned the World Cup. Have you been seeing the memes on that?
I have been. Courtney and I have been living in that. It has been amazing.
So first, we beat Australia 2-0, and that was how probably 80% of the country found out that we were hosting the World Cup, because we don't care about soccer.
No, we don't.
Which it is going to be renamed to, by the way, if we win. We don't care. So the memes for that were pretty great. Just people finding out. Because the only reason I was one of them. The only reason I found out wasn't because of the memes on people talking about it. It was Australians being like, "I can't believe we lost to USA." I was like, In what? Oh, soccer. Dope.
What
Get
sport do
wrecked.
we both play? Yeah. Have you seen the meme where it's like, it's the Reaper going door to door, and then it's got hockey, and then the next one that he's knocking on is soccer. I was like, that's great.
Good. That's pretty good. So then, aside from that, now you've got. I've been seeing a lot of content from Europeans touring, the U.S. and like beginning to finally understand. And what's his name? Josh, whatever.
Yeah, from England.
Yeah, Josh from England. He's got to be sitting there going, I told y'all.
Oh yeah, he has been. Yeah, like he's been posting the two main. He keeps posting stuff, but he's like the two things he said is one. He's talked about how like three things. One video was like how huge America is.
Yeah.
And how like these guys from England are thinking, oh, we'll just drive to the next match. And they're like, what?
Once you get here, you're going to take 2 flights.
And then, so then they said the second thing is, that even from within the town, their thoughts are, we'll just walk to the match. And then they look it up and they realize that their hotel is 20 miles away from the stadium, and they're like, oh yeah, we aren't going to walk that. And how different that is, because if it's more than 5 miles away, it's a different town.
Right.
And so they're thinking, oh, I'm going to stop at, like, I can't remember what town it's in, but it's like, oh, we'll find a hotel in Dallas. And so they find a cheap hotel on the opposite side because all the ones next to it were booked, know?
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, we can't walk. The second thing was how good the food is.
The infatuation with Waffle House blows my mind.
And then, for real though. And then the third thing was the heat. The heat is actually real. And I saw somebody posted a video that's from Europe, and they've lived in America for a few years or something like that. And they were like, it's about time that the Europeans finally stop talking to Americans, because Americans will come over and they're like, you better be researched up on our heat and on this and this and that. And they're like, y'all came over here and thought you knew better. And he's like, I lived in Europe for however many years. When it rains there, it's just mist. It's not in America. We call that mist. It misted
drizzle, maybe.
It drizzled for 4 days straight. Yeah, that happens in America. But when we talk about thunderstorms and rainstorms, that's rain, and they don't get that there. And so they were like freaking out, thinking they were going to die because it rained an inch in 10 minutes. And it's just like, oh my gosh, I had no clue,
Yeah, I saw somebody else talking about like the same thing, like nearly the same way. Like, oh, you're gonna come over here. You better, research the weather patterns. You better understand what you're getting into. And it's like, we have all of it that you have, and more extreme on each within like a several hour drive. Like, like we have, like y'all think you understand. I saw a video. Okay. So I came across one. This guy was stoned. He had to be that, or he's on some really good meds. Okay. He was like, there's a tornado outside my house. and like a few seconds later, he's like standing there and his house is gone. Like he's just standing in where his house was and it's gone. It's just like barely any reaction. He's like, well, that sucks.
Is that the video where it recorded, like he recorded the whole thing going down?
I don't know if he may have cut it. Like there may have been a cut, like to show like before and after. But yeah, I think that's the one. Yeah. Dude was blasted. Anyway, but yeah, like we have storms that I saw somebody from somewhere in Europe was saying like, I don't understand why Americans don't have brick houses. And we're like, everyone in the comments just immediately started fighting him. They're like, do you really think that mattered here? Yeah. I was like, yeah, if you build it properly. And somebody was like, dude, they showed a satellite image of Joplin, like from recent, like several years after the incident. Like you could still see the path. Yeah. And they're like, do you... Are you stupid? Like, look at this. Are you kidding me? This is amazing.
So-
He eventually gave up, but he was saying like, you know, I do construction and it'll withstand winds. It's like, right. This thing took down a hospital. Here's a brick building
It's not gonna
that
matter.
got demolished. Like, it just turns bricks into. If somebody comment like, these things will stick a piece of straw through a tree.
It's like the three little pigs, and it's like the bird's like, let me in. And
Somebody said it ain't the big bad wolf, baby.
the last option is if it can't get through the brick wall, it'll just throw a semi trailer into the brick wall. You know, like it's gonna get in one way or the other.
Yeah. That's why
But this is why we have basements.
right. Yeah.
Like
I used to have a lot of tornado
gosh.
dreams as a kid. I hadn't had one in a long time, and I had one a few weeks ago, actually.
Yeah.
Dude, I used to have those all the time. Like, tornadoes were chasing me or, like, trying to get me. It was,
we used to get a lot more tornadoes here.
yeah.
Like-
it feels like Tornado Alley has moved south a bit.
It is
like, I feel
different.
like it's shifted
Yeah.
more south.
I remember growing up, we had tornadoes all the time. Like every year there was a tornado. Like I remember driving. So we had I got to have been 9-10 years old, and we were in Rushville, and we were just there for like a birthday party, and we were driving away. And this was back in the day when you could just ride in the back of the pickup trucks.
Yeah.
We were driving in the back of the pickup trucks on the highway, and literally a tornado drops down behind us, and I was like, hey Kim, you want to drive a little faster? And she drove straight to the radio station, was like, hey, there's a tornado. But like, I remember tornadoes happen like all the time, and I can't remember. And in recent years, I don't think, and maybe it is because I live farther north because I'm in no, because that was Rushville. Yeah, I don't feel like we see nearly as many tornadoes here as we used to, but I feel like we see more hail than we used to.
See, I've been pretty fortunate since I've been here. We haven't had a really bad hailstorm. Crawford got wrecked that one time in 2018, 19, something like that. They had like baseball size. Glad I wasn't there for that. But yeah, our weather's nuts.
But
So back on just the general tourism thing, did you see the Frenchmen raving about Buc-ee's?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Okay, that dude seems like he's really funny. I can't stand listening to a French accent.
French
It
accent.
hurts.
French
my
accent
ears.
sounds like their tongue got cut off.
Yes.
It's like
yes. It sounds like someone
can't explain it.
is drunk and you like put a chip clip on their tongue.
Yeah, it's
I can't. I listened to it once and I was like, I want to catch more of what you're saying because you're talking fast enough that I'm having a little bit of trouble keeping up. He seems like a really funny dude. Like what he was saying was hilarious.
Yeah.
Like top-notch content. I can't listen to a French accent. It hurts me. I'm sorry, French people. I love you.
I'm not. Get a better accent.
He's right. I retract my apology.
Oh my gosh. But no, it's been so fun watching all these videos, and it reminded me, okay. A follow-up request, and Mike's not here, so suck it. we don't have bipartisan views today. But I've seen a few posts from friends who are liberal, and they're like, oh my gosh, they're just so negative in their comments, even of the foreigners over here.
Yeah.
And I'm like, see, like we're not all like that over here. We're not all sad and upset and negative all the time about everything.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh my gosh. But anyway, that's all. I won't get into the politics of it because Mike's not here. So,
Do it.
but it is just a nice reminder of just like, those of us that just like, I don't know, just are over it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That the world America is a great place.
Yeah.
And And it is ironic that the only places that the foreigners are complaining about happen to be the couple of large, very liberal cities. In the lesser areas and the in-betweens, they're loving life.
Yeah.
But anyway, I saw a thing that from an Australian saying that America scares them. And I was like, what? And they were kind of explaining it, and it made sense. So Australia scares Americans because of the creatures. Mm-hmm. America scares Australia. Did I say that right? Australia scares Americans.
Yes.
So then the Australians are afraid of American weather.
Oh.
And like that's like the natural phenomenon and stuff. And they were like, we're terrified of this.
I've seen that actually.
And I was like, holy crap. Is living in America that wild? Like, because I mean, if you think about it, it's like everywhere you go, you've got something.
I've seen them bring up tornadoes.
You got tornadoes. You've got hail.
Yeah.
You've got the monsoons. You've got horrible winters that drop feet and feet of snow in some regions. You've got, that's part of the reason I don't mind having a winter is because we don't have the mosquitoes and stuff the insects in general don't exist during wintertime pretty much.
Yeah.
And so it's like there's a balance in America, and like depending on where you go, there's something. And the areas that don't have those have earthquakes.
Right.
It's like it's like there is
there's a
weather
debuff
everywhere.
There's debuffs everywhere.
Yeah.
Like there's
the whole
some
country,
there's some sort
weather.
of everywhere's got perks and debuffs everywhere.
And
that is valid.
Yeah, whereas Australia, they don't get enough moisture to have all of these things.
Counterpoint.
I would much rather take the weather over.
That's me, right? Okay, so like, how many species of venomous snakes do they have? How many species of venomous spiders do they have? Lizards, just stuff in general. Like the amount of creatures in Australia that are actively, it feels like, now maybe, you know what? I'm going to retract that. I'm going to pull it back a little bit. That are designed to inflict damage on living things. Mm-hmm. Me being a living thing, I don't like that.
Yeah.
Now, tornadoes, pretty suck. They're pretty suck. Not a fan. Not really a fan of tornadoes. Yeah. That said, a tornado might take my house away. But if I'm not stupid and I pay attention, most of the time, I have a pretty good chance of avoiding being in it myself. So, big, dark cloud spinning very fast that I can go avoid. And then once it's gone by, the odds of me ever encountering that again are pretty low.
Right.
Versus a spider that will, turn your arm into a frickin' vegetable with one bite.
Right.
And there's like thousands of them just kind of all over the place. And like, you can't you don't see that coming. You know where that's at, friggin' lizard that'll make your teeth fall out. No, no.
I would much rather have the weather.
Give me the weather.
But
give me the weather.
There's some Australians that are saying they'd rather have it their way.
I have seen that before. People from Australia being like, "Yo, y'all got tornadoes." And
which I guess thinking about it, if you were raised in that world,
I suppose
the unknown is scarier.
I suppose,
and I've heard friends of mine who are in the missions field. I'll just word it that way. In areas where war is very real, that they said that when the explosives start falling from the sky, we'll just put it that way, for censorship issues, that everybody goes out on their balcony. Like, we go look at tornadoes. Because they're so used to it, they know where it's going to hit, and they watch, and they're like, "Oh yeah, it's falling in the northern region," and like there's certain agreements with like time and stuff like that, and so it's like if it's after 8 p.m., that it's just them at war in this area and stuff like that, and it's like it's crazy to me because like that's terrifying.
Yeah,
but they're seeing that and they're like, "Oh, it's predictable." The tornado is not predictable. That's terrifying. And I'm like, no, you can see the tornado. And they're like, we can see the explosives. And it's like, but it is interesting how
Can you predict?
just depending on what you're born into.
Can you predict a friggin' 15-foot crocodile? I don't feel confident in my ability to learn that system, you know? Like, that's the thing, right? Like, you know, you might get used to the war zone stuff. You might get, I think you could get used to the weather pretty quick. I don't know if I can get used to the animals.
Yeah.
Like Australia has. I can't live in the South either. You know,
Yeah,
I got cottonmouths and copperheads and brown recluse. I mean, even those can like end up kind of like closer to me than I'd like.
Yeah.
You know, but for the most
brown
part,
recluse, like it can exist here. And
yeah, that's horrifying to me.
yeah,
I
they're
hate
not
that.
common, but they can exist.
I
here.
hate that. You know, Black Widow, I'm not too scared of. Like,
They're usually easy to spot.
they are usually pretty easy to spot. And honestly, even if you get bit, like, it's going to suck, but you're not going to die, most likely.
Yeah.
Like, they're responsible for very, 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 very few deaths aside from, like, bad allergic reaction, that type of stuff. So, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Creatures out here don't bother me too much.
Yeah.
That's I love the meme of like, you know, the air hurts my face. Why do I live where the air hurts my face?
Yeah,
and then you see like the result of a brown recluse bite or like a, you know, cottonmouth bite or something like that, and you're like, that's why I live where the air hurts my face.
I hope this winter we have just a real nasty cold snap of a winter and it just kills back all of the stuff that's starting to make its way in this area.
Yeah.
And that's a horrible thing to wish for because harsh winters suck.
Yeah.
But I do notice that the years after a mild winter, the insect problem is so much worse.
Yeah.
So much worse.
Yeah.
But anyway,
I just hope we get like 15 feet of snow.
I'm down for it. I don't need the negative 40 for a week straight.
No.
But that 15 feet of snow seems to do it too.
You give me like 2 nights throughout the winter that are like sub 10 below.
Yeah.
That'll take care of it.
Yeah.
No moments. Anyway,
I've got a couple more of current events, but we're not going to get into them because we'll talk about them a little bit more on the Patreon.
okay.
Give us a starter for the Patreon. But I did want to share and just get the people who are not on Patreon teased so they want to come and hear our conversation on it a little bit.
I don't like the past tense of the word. I don't like it. I don't know why. It just makes me uncomfortable.
Oh my gosh.
Is that how people who don't like the word moist feel? Is that it? Like, just it doesn't sound good in my ear holes.
Maybe. Did you see the stuff that Tulsi Gabbard released on her last day in office?
I did.
Whoa. Mm-hmm. Whoa. And we literally can't talk about it because it'll get this episode shadowed.
Yeah,
and so we can't talk about it.
Absolutely.
But let's just say we can't say anything about this still. It's now been confirmed as fact, and we still can't talk about it because it's shadow
we'll
stuff.
put it this way. A lot of the things that we had kind of theorized and alluded to regarding government operations and secrecy and like
Lies.
yeah, a lot of
lies.
a lot of the political espionage, that kind of stuff, is like just straight up confirmed. Like it's real.
Fact.
It's not. It's not like
it is files released fact now.
yeah.
And there is a video that got leaked of Mr. Zuck himself speaking to his people, saying the exact opposite of the way that they were practicing on the Book of Faces. So we'll just tease at that. I will get into, we'll talk way deeper about it on the show. The second thing that I wanted to tease as a current event is, did you see the report that came out about Europe? And
Suck at soccer.
250,000 SA cases, the more severe form of SA cases of white women by people of Muslim descent. We'll just put it that way for the allegedly for fun on just the where it's nothing is real. This is all fake. But no, they did this bombshell release. I'll edit it out from here and you can re-say it in the
joke as late.
Anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, they it's a big, huge bombshell release, and there's a town. Okay, and the last current event I'll say is there's a small town in Minnesota that the certain group supported all of the minorities who are of Muslim descent getting into office and voting them in and all this other stuff is like, we're pro, we're all working on the same minorities together. I'll just word it that way. And I'll word it this way, just as this is the factual stuff. We'll talk more about it on the Patreon. This town, now that the entire city board is made up of those people, just banned displays and uses of pride flags and pride anything else citywide.
You get what you freaking deserve.
I'm telling you, I don't understand why people don't like hear me. This isn't a political thing.
No,
this is you're falling hook, line, and sink for a people group, people group of, and it's not the people. I will say this: it is the religion. Their religion teaches that you should lie in order to get into certain places, so that you can then enact Sharia law and stuff like that. Even that's probably going to get dinged on this episode.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm not allowed to say this stuff.
It will.
But your message is being co-opted. And then when they get the power, the very first thing that they then attack is one of the main tenets that you stand for.
Yeah.
You guys aren't on the same team, even though you think you're on the same team. You're not on the same team. You're on different teams. And if you were to even think 5 seconds about the greater implications of it all. And so this is literally, it's playing
Honestly,
out. It's a I told you so moment played out in front of us. And there's still, again, we'll save this for the Patreon, a lot of this. But at some point you get what you sow. And anyway. We'll talk a lot deeper on the Patreon. Anyway, exactly. But for the sake of, I want to talk more about this on the Patreon, we're going to move on. So, with that said, that's all of my current events, and this is shaping up to be a fun Patreon episode. Yeah. Thank you, Xander. This might be the right format for times in which we can't do it the other way. But that said, we'll get into the show. So we're obviously, based off the title, you guys know we're talking about Area 51. Area 51 is, it's kind of an enigma because it's both secret but also known.
Yeah.
And the problem with it is we have the kind of, and so, okay. But while doing research on Area 51, one of the things that I think kept popping into my mind. So I was going to say this earlier and I ended up not saying it, so I'm going to say it now. Xander warned us that after we researched the Dulce base, that weird things would, he's like, hey, just so you know, ever since I started researching this, weird stuff has been happening to my phone and all blah, blah, blah. I'll tell you what, I don't know if it's just coincidence, placebo effect or something, but I've been having significantly more problems with my phone ever since we recorded the Dulce base. Podbean, I don't know where. So I had, okay, just so you guys know.
That is about when your tech problems start really.
I will explain this situation that happened, because some of you guys probably are wondering if you tend to watch on YouTube or YouTube podcasts. You probably noticed all of a sudden there was a surge of a bunch of uploads because at some point, re-uploads of, it was like 5 or 6 episodes. So I got a message from a listener. Shout out, Jonathan. He messaged me. He's like, hey, I was a little behind on the show and I got to episode 80 or whatever, episode 82 or whatever.
Yeah.
And he's like, it doesn't exist. And it jumps to episode 87. Did you accidentally number it wrong? And I was like, what? No, dude, let's give me a second. And I spent an entire day fixing the problem. We might have already explained this last week, but either way, I spent an entire day fixing the problem, getting in tickets with Podbean, trying to figure out what happened to have this happen. And according to Podbean, somebody got in on my mobile device that is connected to my account and deleted 5 episodes. Not possible. So I do have a mobile device that is connected to it, but in order to even get into the Podbean app, let alone click on everything, let alone then delete it, then confirm that you want to delete all of this stuff, there's no way. And so I'm letting them know, I'm like, this is really concerning for me. Like, this is an issue. And they kind of started taking it a little more seriously, but then they sent it to like their head tech people, and their head tech people are like, there's nothing, like literally on our end of things, what it shows is you logged in on your phone and you went and you deleted those 5 episodes. Guess what episodes were in those 5 episodes? The Dulce Base episodes. Weird, right?
Yep.
Just a little bit. Now, and they said those 5, and then those 5 episodes deleted. And they said you can re-upload them, so the files are on count. And I keep backups of everything on different multiple drives and servers and stuff. If somebody really wanted to sabotage us, they would have to go to some lengths to delete everything that we have. Because I literally foresaw, like in my hindsight, maybe I'll call it the Holy Spirit. I felt like something told me originally on save multiple copies. So you've got the multiple copies. You got it on the device, on this device, on a backup server, on the Podbean episode on thing, and a backup on the YouTube. So I have multiple different places. Plus, and I'm not even going to name other areas just in case somebody does want to sabotage. But I've got backups of backups, and so nothing's going to get deleted on this stuff. But yeah, it disappeared, and it happened to be the Dulce Base. Well, while doing Area 51. There's some overlap in the ideas of like, okay, the only real tangible difference that we know about Area 51 versus Dulce Base is that we know Area 51 is real for sure. That's it. Period. And the only reason we know that it's real is because there is one document in which they unclassified a specific plane, aircraft, whatever, jet. They unclassified it, and it was in operation and tested at the Area 51 base. That is in 2013.
Yeah.
So up until 2013... Area 51 did not exist. And it was in the same, if anything talked about Area 51 pre-2013, it was viewed the same way as us talking about the Dulce Base.
Yeah.
It was not confirmed. There was no fact.
I would
but
say
there
less.
were whistleblowers.
I would say it was given
blowers. There we go.
I would say it was given less credibility because there was no real history of that kind of thing ever being confirmed.
There's a handful of
At
whistleblowers.
least not on a like very public scale.
Yeah.
Because like a lot of this stuff was declassified in the early 2000s, but we didn't have the same understanding of our access as like the general public to that kind of information.
Yep.
And so like people could say it, but like if you were scrubbing, FOIA documents in 2005, you were a nutcase.
Yeah.
Like nobody took you seriously.
Right. And the irony is, those are the people who actually knew.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's the crazy thing is like, you know, I think of, and shout out to Monkey from the Patreon. Like, I think to someone like him, like who enjoys looking at documents.
Yeah.
And he like genuinely just like can go through the kind of stuff that for me is a little bit more painful. Yeah. You're like, I have to like really like be looking for something in order to go through those, go through documents. And he's just like, he likes reading them for fun. It seems like, and maybe he doesn't, but the way that he presents it is though he just enjoys it. Those are the people that know the information. And the crazy thing is that up until, I mean, I would even say, just being honest, just as somebody who, so being on this podcast, our average listener's response to us is not normal. The normal response that I get from people, especially in the pastoral world, I'm cuckoo, dude. Like, I have a conversation with somebody about the podcast, and they are standoffish. And I'm like,
listen to the intro. Did you hear the...
It's wild to me. And
you're the people who the intro is for. It's all a joke.
It's just a joke.
It's all for fun. Don't believe us.
But at the same, but it's like, but like the Tulsi Gabbard stuff, it's out there.
Yeah.
So the Area 51 stuff, at least, but again,
the podcast is for fun, but some of this is very much real,
and it's very not fun,
and it's
terrifying. You know, some of this stuff is genuinely terrifying.
We make light of a lot of things. Yes, that are pretty dark.
Area 51 is an enigma, and I'll tell you my full thoughts when we get to the end of the episode. But
I think Area 51 is a prime example, and maybe like one of the first examples of them allowing for half-truths, right? Yeah, the thing's here. See, it's here. We're being transparent.
Yeah.
We're telling you about it. Full transparency. See, we're the good guys. Yeah. But it's just for, military aircraft testing. Yeah. It's not aliens. It's definitely not demons. It's nothing crazy. It's just, government security, operational security stuff. Yeah. Don't worry about it. See?
Yeah.
See, we showed you. Now shut up about it.
Dude, Area 51 is crazy. And so we'll get into the history, the confirmed history we have. Mm-hmm. Okay. So from what I understand, in 1942, there was an airfield that was established at because it was never called Area 51.
Right.
Area 51 is just the place on the map where, so the civilians,
right? We
call it Area 51 because that's the location of it on the map is Area 51. So it was originally an auxiliary airfield at Groom Lake in Nevada, which is 83 miles northwest of Las Vegas. There's another small town of 50 people that's like 20 miles away from it. So originally it was used by crews that were preparing for World War II. That was the original, allegedly. This is the
official.
This is the official word on its creation as far as we know. They use the extensive Nellis Air Force Base range for target practice, basically. So then after World War II, the land to the west became the Nevada test site, which is where 1,021 nuclear weapons were detonated. 921 of those were underground. Do you remember recently there was like that string of a bunch of earthquakes that happened, and then they came out and the official word was, "Hey, no nuclear bombs were there was no nuclear bombs tested that did this." There was nothing else. They didn't say, "Hey, there's seismic activity." No, there was definitely not nuclear bombs.
Was it bombs?
It was definitely
bombs.
I mean, that's probably what it was then. Anyway.
Was that completely unprovoked? Was nobody like really talking about it?
Yeah. It was just like, well, people were like, hey, it's kind of crazy how many earthquakes there were around this region. I wonder what it was. Definitely not nuclear bombs. What? Where did you come from? No, I heard you talking about it. I want to make sure you know it definitely
was not nuclear bombs.
Underground nuclear bomb tests. We're probably in trouble for saying that word as many times as we did. But hey, we're talking about facts. Mm-hmm. So 921 of those were underground. Okay, why? 921 underground. Why? What were they doing? Could they maybe have been clearing out some space?
Or
underground?
Or maybe, perhaps, trying to open a portal.
Maybe.
Nuclear stuff is wild, bro.
It's crazy.
Like, when it comes to, like, the way that our universe works, as we know it, laws of physics and chemistry and stuff, like, nukes are crazy.
They are.
You're splitting atoms.
Yeah, it's
that's some crazy stuff. I don't know what happens as a result of that.
Right. Yeah. So the Groom Lake
stuff.
Also, the fact that it's called Groom Lake is just weird to me. Just being honest. Knowing everything else we know about the government. Okay, the Groom Lake facility has been known by various names such as Paradise Ranch, Dreamland, and Watertown.
Ranch, huh?
Yep.
Wait, Dreamland?
Paradise Ranch, Dreamland, and Watertown.
One of these things is not like the others.
Groom Lake, Paradise Ranch, Dreamland. Knowing what we know now, that's weird, right? Anyway, and then Watertown.
What?
That's the thing. So, workers.
Maybe, hey guys, we need to rebrand. Can we be a little less on the nose?
Watertown.
Watertown.
In Nevada.
What are some characteristics of this that don't scream freaky stuff? Water. There's a lake right there.
So, workers would be flown in daily from Vegas to Area 51. Now, Area 51 had to have been the most convenient name that they could have come up with because civilians named it that based off its location. Mm-hmm. They had names like Dreamland and Paradise Ranch. And so when they could declassify it, it's just Area 51 now.
Yeah.
It's not Paradise Ranch Groom Lake. Like, what? Anyway, okay. So the workers were flown from Vegas to Area 51 on an unmarked jet nicknamed Janet. So they would hop on Janet and fly to Paradise Ranch.
Taking Janet to Dreamland. It sounds like a euphemism for coke. Tell me I'm wrong.
How much
that
of
is
this?
Drugs.
Okay, but how much of this was unintentional? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or were they intentionally trying to make people sound crazy? Because, like, I was reading a story of a kid whose dad worked there, and the kid basically said, "Oh yeah, my dad talked about having to hop on Janet and ride to the base," and I was like, "What?
You sound that crap crazy."
Yeah, you instantly. Your dad sounds cuckoo. You're not going to believe him. Oh yeah, I had to ride Janet to Dreamland.
Imagine you have no foreknowledge of like anything we've talked about on this podcast ever.
Yeah.
And some dude's like, "Hey, do you know about the secret military installation in Nevada?"
At Groom Lake.
Where is it? What's it called? It's called Dreamland. How do you get there? Well, you got to take Janet.
Yeah.
Janet the jet.
You're crazy.
You're nuts.
An unmarked jet named Janet.
You are certifiable.
Yep.
Send him to the asylum.
Yeah. I don't know. I'll let people draw their own conclusions with that. It's definitely weird to me.
Little Billy goes in for show and tell and starts talking about his dad taking Janet the Jet to Paradise Ranch. Maybe little Billy shouldn't be living with his bio parents, needs to go to the GATE program.
Yeah.
Let's send him somewhere special.
Exactly.
Okay, sorry, I'm done.
So
Continue.
No, you're good. That's pretty much what we know for a fact. We know that the F-117 stealth fighter was tested there originally. There's rumors of that the Aurora project is currently being tested there, which is supposedly a surveillance surveillance jet that can, I guess, technically a drone since it's unmanned, but apparently it can reach like Mach 10, and it flies. It goes up to the furthest points of space so that there's less friction. That's rumor. That's not fact. But there's various different aircraft through history that were tested there. The original was the U-2 spy plane program, which was fly 70,000 feet, and at that time was crazy. And that was during the Soviet Union era, and the Soviets couldn't intercept it when it was that legit and that high and all that stuff. So that was the first thing that was tested there.
Do you know how fast Mach 10 is? Just randomly.
I don't off the top of my head. I know it's just fast.
It's over 7,600 miles an hour.
Jeez. So have you heard of the people like who've been reporting weird like booms just out of nowhere coming from the sky?
No.
There's been quite a few. I've seen quite a few on TikTok, and they're just like, I don't know what it was. There was just a loud boom in the sky, and I couldn't figure out what it was. If it was that would make sense. If it hits Mach 10, and like it makes you wonder like what kind of noise is that making when it breaks the sound barrier initially? Because it's probably its get up and go is probably wild. And so if it hits that in far outer space, or not outer space, but the far reaches of the sky, it makes you wonder where all you could hear that at.
If my mom happens to be listening to this, I have a physics question. If she doesn't, hopefully somebody reminds me to ask her directly. Does the rate of acceleration affect the intensity of a sonic boom?
Oh, that's a good question. I would, because I was coming into it the assumption that it did, but maybe not, because
the sound barrier is at the same spot. But I don't know how fast you hit it, like how quickly you achieve that speed.
Yeah, I was just assuming it would. But
I don't know.
It doesn't. And now that you ask that, it doesn't. And my brain is going, it very easily might not.
I don't know. I lack the knowledge to.
Yeah. But yeah, so
figure that out.
That's we'll provide
That's what
feedback.
My mom might not even know. I don't know.
She might have to look that up.
It's probably not that complicated.
It's probably not. And your mom's like, stupid.
You
know this. You know this.
You guys have a podcast.
You know this.
You guys shouldn't have a podcast. You don't know nothing.
Who gave you internet access?
So another project is the Project Oxcart and the A-12, which was 1959 to 1968. Those were being tested at that point in time.
I don't know about the A-12. I want an AA-12.
What? Oh.
It's fine. Don't worry about it.
And
FPS Russia.
Then the next thing that they tested was the SR-71 Blackbird, which, again, if you'd have seen that at the time when they were researching it, probably you'd have probably thought like, oh, that's a UFO. I don't know.
That thing's so nuts. I love that plane so much.
For real. So
thing can just cruise at 90,000 feet.
So all of these are being tested there, quote unquote, like now we know officially that those things were being tested there. Mm-hmm. So we can kind of deduce that Lockheed and the U.S. government at minimum were like, hey, we need a place to test all of this stuff, and it needs to be way off the grid, way out to nowhere. Everybody in and out and around it needs to have, security clearance, that kind of stuff. We need to make sure that this is off the books, all this stuff. Like, you could, at the very least, that's the clear cut thing. Because according to the CIA documents, it was the CIA and Lockheed. That's who in 1955 created this area, or the actual base began to be built by CIA and Lockheed. So it's like, okay, at the very least, at minimum, that's what it is. But then we start having some conspiracy theories overlap and whistleblowers overlap. And do you know who the first major whistleblower was for Area 51?
John W. Blower, is that correct?
Mm-hmm. Totally.
Sorry.
So there was a TV special on October 14th. So this isn't the person.
60 Minutes?
Just a TV special. Just all it says. It was called UFO Cover-Up Live. And it was publicly, it just aired across TV. That's all the information I have about it.
By who? What?
People. Let me finish. Let me look up a little more detail on that, because I wasn't even planning on talking about it very long. But now that we bring attention to it,
I want to see if there is enough research to do a full episode on Lockheed Martin.
It was hosted, that was just the name of it. It was hosted by actor Mike Farrell, and it was a 2-hour broadcast featuring retired military officers, scientists, and researchers discussing UFO phenomena.
Oh, I bet
it was just a special.
I bet Uncle Sam didn't like that.
You could go watch it.
I'm going to.
Or Uncle Sam created it. Just saying.
Oh, that's possible. That's possible.
But it was specifically talking about UFOs, and it alleges Area 51 and alien technology. That's what makes me wonder, maybe this was their first little insert. But in 1989, the first official whistleblower comes forward. Do you know who it was? I'm kind of surprised you don't know this.
Who?
Your mom really, really is going to be disappointed in you that you don't know.
Oh, this. Sorry. I thought... that was a your mom joke.
Your mom. What did I can see replaying that in my mind?
You paused for just long enough.
Your mom. That would have been a great your mom joke. That would have been perfect timing.
That's why I headbutted my mic. I just dropped my head. I was like, oh my gosh.
That was not a your mom joke.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh my gosh. I was really
whistleblower. Oh, I'm sweating.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god.
Your mom is not the whistleblower. Your mom would be disappointed that you don't know who the whistleblower is.
Who was it?
Bob Lazar.
Oh, of course it was. Wait, when was this? What year?
1989.
Okay.
So Bob Lazar comes out.
I didn't realize he was the first.
He appeared anonymously on a Las Vegas television under the name Dennis.
How old is Bob Lazar? Now?
I don't know. Let me look it up. How old is Bob Dylan?
Yes.
He is 67 years old. He was born in 1959.
Okay.
So, yeah. So
He's 30 at this point.
in 1989, yeah, he came forward and he claimed he worked at a facility called S4 south of Groom Lake, that the U.S. government possessed 9 alien spacecraft, that his job involved reverse engineering propulsion systems, that the craft were powered by element 115, and that the government was hiding extraterrestrial,
No.
extraterrestrial
Thank you.
technology. And so he kind of opened up so is it movie?
What? No, dude, no. Look at the first actual like search thing. Like the suggestion.
Element 115 and then elemental.
I was just gonna look up like element 115 and that's the only look.
Oh yeah, dude. Weird.
Dude. In case anybody at this point doubts that your phone is listening to you like actively, I just started to type in element 115 because I'm just curious about what the properties of that are. And I typed in element in Google, and the first thing that popped up other than like the search results for just the word element was element 115. No other like options for that. That was it. Anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Continue.
No, that's actually
That was freaky.
So Lazar came out, and so he's claiming that he's a physicist, that he's working on reverse engineering alien spacecraft, that confirming that the U.S. government has multiple extraterrestrial vehicles, and that his job was to understand the propulsion systems. He came out on May 14th in 89, hid his identity, his face was shadowed, and he came under the pseudonym Dennis. He later then claims that he was that person, and in hindsight.
See the origin for the shadow face behind the curtain thing?
I don't know.
Like this.
Possibly.
He's the first guy to do that.
Yeah.
Sorry, Bob.
And Bob is an enigma to me. I still don't really know what I think about him, because I know some people who have researched him a lot more than I have that trust him. People like that, because he goes on shows like podcasts and stuff. I'd love to have him on the show sometime.
Yeah.
Because I want to pick his brain a little bit. And if he'd be willing to do an interview with us, I would absolutely
That'd be
over
sick.
the moon to do it.
That'd be sick.
We're probably not big enough at this point in time to bring him in, but you never know. I might try. But he's an enigma to me because I think he's genuine. Like,
Yeah.
I think he's genuine. But a deeper part of me thinks he was being played by the government.
Right.
I think that he was working on things.
Paul Bennett's
But-
situation.
Yes. And I think that the government, because he's famous for talking about the aliens shut off the nuclear site and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I think that the government was testing their own technology
Yeah.
to see if they could do this stuff. And again, so looking stuff up and finding the person who his dad worked at Area 51, he claims at least that he only asked his dad about aliens one time. And he said, "Dad, are you guys actually like messing with aliens out of Area 51?" And his dad, the only response he said, "I didn't inquire anything more, and so I'll just let you figure out what you think about it." But his dad took a second, thought about his answer, and then responded with, "I think people would be amazed if they fully understood the lengths of which human intelligence can go." And I don't know. And I think about...
It's a very well thought out response, regardless of how you want to interpret it.
Yep. And so
Sharp guy.
he's not answering anything at all, but at the same time. And so part of me thinks that Bob Lazar was one of those people who, maybe because he already believed in aliens and the government already knew he believed in aliens, became part of the process. And maybe it's easier for the government to explain, hey, this is an alien spacecraft that you're dissecting, rather than, hey, we got this from the Russians or
Demons.
or let's say, on a totally different note, let's say that like they just wanted to see if it could be reverse engineered, because they're concerned that maybe if this craft goes down in Russia, because if our scientists who believe it's alien could reverse engineer it, then could Russians who believe it's American reverse engineer it?
Right.
And if they could reverse engineer it, hey, maybe we make sure that these things don't go down, because then they would have our technology. And so maybe it was just testing to see if they could reverse engineer it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
If a physicist who is not the one building the ship can reverse engineer a propulsion system that somebody else was working on, then any Russian physicist could then reverse it. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so some of it, like, but again,
How can we take this from a checker game to a chess game?
yes. and if they just said, hey, now, like, let's put it this way. If they just said, hey, your friend Frank over there designed this, let's see if you can reverse engineer it. You immediately go, oh, this is human. Oh, of course we could reverse engineer it.
Right.
But if they say, oh, this is alien, oh, this is way more advanced than anything you guys have.
Right.
How much different are you? And again, maybe it was like, again, there's so many, my brain goes to 100 different ways.
I know.
You know, and so but I do believe that Bob Lazar is either very genuine or a very good liar.
Yeah.
Because the way that he tells things, it doesn't seem like he's lying about much, if anything at all.
It's one of those things where, like, it would be very, very difficult, very impressive, honestly, to have a lie that was as consistent and well thought out. Like, the things that he say track together. They make sense. It's cohesive. It's consistent. You know, it's hard to fake that kind of thing. It's hard to come up with a story that fits together as well as the truth.
So, on alternative theory, okay, let me continue. 100%. Yeah, sorry.
No, you're good. You're thinking ahead.
My brain is going to the next thing, and okay. So the very next thing that happens is a few months later, Lazar then returns to the television and reveals his identity. Okay. So, alternative theory: what if the original was a whistleblower, and the government planted Bob Lazar to then hijack it and take it a different direction?
Possible.
Again, I don't have any nefarious, because I think of Bob Lazar the same way I think of the host of the confessionals. You know what I mean? Like, he's so genuine that it's hard not to just be like, yeah, this dude's legit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But there's some people out there that are exceptional liars. Mm-hmm. Exceptional actors, you know what I mean? And so my brain goes 100. Anything involving Bob Lazar, my brain goes 100 different directions every time that he's involved.
Yeah.
As soon as his name pops up, my brain's like, okay, what about this? What about this? What about this? And there's 100 different ways. But so he comes out and reveals his true identity, and he talks about disc-shaped vehicles. He talks about extremely smooth construction, with no rivets, no seams, and he talks about childlike seats. So real small individuals. But remember my theory about the Nazis being involved in some of this stuff and how they like to test things using kids? Mm-hmm. Again, it's a lot easier to explain that it was aliens than that we were using children to test flight.
Aliens are small, dude. They're the size of a child.
Apparently. And that he helped craft and operate the gravity drive, which
That's a fancy
uses
word.
gravity itself to propel. My brain's stuck. It's like it's right there. It's right there. What is it? To propel the spacecraft.
Propel.
And basically coming out with the idea of a warp drive, basically. And then he goes on to continue talking about element 115 and that alien reactors use 115 as fuel. It allowed them to have gravity manipulation, all this other stuff. Years later, scientists, quote unquote, created element 115 in labs and named it Muscovium.
Yep.
That's what it is. Muscovium. How random. So he was claiming element 115 existed before they had, quote unquote, discovered element 115, Muscovium. It's kind of interesting to me, allegedly. But he also claimed that the aircraft were flown on Wednesday nights. That was when they did the testing. And that he would even bring friends to watch. Like from outside of the base, I guess. Just wild. Now, Bob Lazar, he goes on to talk about a lot more, but that doesn't fit into our timeline here. So let's continue. In 1994, there were a series of whistleblowers called the Groom Lake Environmental Whistleblowers. This was, at the time, probably the strongest argument that Area 51 did exist because these workers very clearly worked there. And the families of the deceased contractors of Robert Frost and Walter Kaza filed lawsuits claiming that toxic chemicals were being burned in open pits at Groom Lake. So they alleged that the exposure to these chemicals caused respiratory illnesses, liver damage, severe health problems, and that the government concealed the use of all of these materials at the site. So they came forward, blew the whistle, saying all this stuff was happening. And it is very well documented in court cases. So it's one of those things where they pretty successfully came forward and proved that the government was withholding information that, again, in 1994, the government didn't then come out and go, oh yeah, Area 51 exists. It would still be another 20 years after it was basically confirmed to exist through the whistleblower documents that it existed. That's just wild to me. So timeline wise, and I'm sticking to the timeline before we get into anything else too crazy.
Yeah.
So in 1996, quote unquote, J-Rod, that was his made up name, who was an engineer, was interviewed in the documentary called Dreamland. Again, what is with these names? And he claimed that he worked Area 51 in the 50s. And he claimed that, again, that he was working on a flying disc simulator.
Okay.
What that is. So then he claimed that technology was based on alien aircraft. And, I lied. He didn't claim his name was J-Rod. I remembered reading through this and I was like, something weird about the name J-Rod. No, he was in contact with an extraterrestrial who called himself J-Rod. And that was that.
Jared.
J-Rod. Gerald.
Ayo.
J-Rod.
J-Rod.
Jared.
The first. Okay. Yep. The extraterrestrial that was talking to this guy got exposed and has since been hiding as a dolphin.
Yep. Or the demons are working on some underground alien bases underwater. Anyway, so in the early 2000s, then we have test pilots who start coming out and there's some declassified information that comes out about the U-2, the A-12 ox cart, the SR-71, and they began talking about the actual craft that they flew, like the actual declassified now craft.
Sure.
But many of them stated that classified aircraft testing was what they felt like generated the UFO reports during the 50s and 60s. They rejected the alien claims. So the actual pilots of these vehicles, as they became, the actual aircraft became unclassified.
Right.
Or declassified, started coming forward because they can now talk about them because the aircraft is declassified.
Right.
And they wholeheartedly rejected the alien stuff about Groom Lake. So then in 2013, the CIA confirms Area 51 through a declassified U-2 and Oxcart documents, and they confirmed that the base existed because of that through the declassified documents. And then again in 2023, we have David Grush, who was not an Area 51 employee, but he became a whistleblower that testified that the U.S. possesses recovered non-human aircraft, reverse engineering programs exist, and that this information has been hidden from Congress itself. And that's basically the historical historical
Timeline.
These facts, these events happened.
Okay.
Now, what they said happened isn't necessarily true or false, but those events did happen in the timeline of what is Area 51. And the thing about going through the timeline of Area 51 is, doesn't it feel really familiar to the Dulce base?
Yeah.
My goodness, it feels familiar. But the only difference is the Dulce base had cattle mutilations. Not a whole lot of cattle around Area 51.
Nope.
And so that's really the only,
Although,
obviously there's a lot of dramatic difference, but you get what I'm saying. Like, it feels so similar.
Yeah.
If the government wasn't acknowledging Area 51 existed, if in 2013 they hadn't acknowledged it, us talking about Area 51 would sound very similar to us talking about the Dulce base. Very similar. It's wild to me how similar they feel in research and everything. Good.
No, I was going to say, us talking about, or I guess before that, I was going to say, as far as the region, I feel like it doesn't really matter that much because the Dulce base, the cattle mutilations went pretty wide of the area. It wasn't really local.
Yeah.
So that I feel like is, I don't know, kind of negligible. But
for sure.
But then I was going to say, us talking about the Dulce base recently sounds a lot like people talking about Area 51 in the mid 2000s.
Yeah. It really does.
That's the most annoying thing to me. Is just this is what we, think we know. This is what people have said.
Yeah.
We don't have, confirmation from a reliable source.
In fact, okay, let's be real brutally honest here. As far as whistleblowers go, there's more proof that the Dulce base exists than Area 51.
Yeah.
Because Area 51, we pretty much have Bob Lazar. And if Area 51's not declassified, Bob Lazar feels very similar to some of the other whistleblowers that came forward about Dulce base. You know what I mean? But yet but again, now that the government has came out and declassified Area 51, I don't know. It's interesting to me. And okay. I don't know.
The hard part to me is sifting out the disinformation, right?
Yes.
And where
both intentional and unintentional.
When it comes to Area 51, I feel like where does it begin? Where did the leaked information that they didn't want out there stop? And where does their disinformation campaign begin? Is it like, which side of that line is Bob Lazar on? Right?
Right.
And then what's like, where is that line exactly? Like, regardless of which side of it he's on, where does it begin? And like, how much fade in is there? How much real information did they like put in with the disinformation? Like, there's no real way to truly sort that out. I don't think you can ever really get it 100% cleaned up to where this is what's real and this is what's not. But that's where we come in. You know, we theorize, we hypothetically sift out the disinformation and come up with our version of the truth.
Yeah.
So what is it?
So, okay.
What is the biblically accurate version of this?
So I'm gonna take you on a wild trail now. This was
Are we flying
this,
Janet Airlines
okay
on this little trip?
So now that, okay, I've kind of primed you to think a little bit about the Dulce base, right?
Yep.
So we have Paul Benowitz, who...
Poor Paul.
He's the one that intercepted the signals and kind of went crazy. Then you've got Phil Schneider, who claimed that he worked on the geoengineering of stuff and all that stuff. Okay. Those are the two real significant people in the Dulce base claims, right? Paul and Phil. And I sometimes get them mixed up in my head, so I pulled it up really quick. That's why you heard me typing for a second, just to make sure that I keep their names separate. Okay. So now enter into Bob Lazar. And I think part of the reason Bob Lazar gets benefit of the doubt more than Phil and Paul do is because in hindsight, there has been more proof as well as the official government acknowledgement of the location in which he was claiming he worked at. Okay. You take that away. This is what you're left with. Okay. And I'm going to just roll through this quickly. I'm not going to go into detail. Okay. So Bob Lazar comes out, claims that he worked in an area called S4, which was an area hidden inside of the mountain and an area in which the government possessed 9 alien craft. His job was reverse engineering these aircraft, that these craft were not human technology. That one craft that he worked on was called the Sport Model, which was a saucer-shaped vehicle. It was roughly 50 feet across. It was smooth metallic, no visible seams, no rivets, no obvious propulsion systems, with 3 gravity amplifiers underneath the craft. He then claims that the craft used gravity propulsion that could bend space-time, and it would pull itself towards the destination using that. He then comes out and claims Element 115 powered the reactor, and it was the fuel source for it. That, according to him, the element does not naturally occur on Earth. And then Element 115 creates gravity waves. So he then claims that he saw a working reactor. He claimed it was roughly the size of a basketball, that it produced enormous power, had no moving parts, and it generated no visible waste heat, that it could operate continuously for decades or centuries. He then claimed that the reactor did produce antimatter. And he then claimed that he read government briefing documents that stated the crafts were extraterrestrial. The government had studied them for years. The pilots were not human, and some information about their origin was known. He then claims that aliens were involved with humanity, that they're working together with humanity for thousands of years. And some versions of the story claim that he said approximately 10,000 years. So he then claims that the craft came from the Zeta Reticula system, which is located about 39 light years from Earth. He then claims that the craft contains small seats, child-sized interior fixtures. He then claims that alien technology was beyond human science. Materials with impossible properties, components that appear molded as a single piece, and technology that seems decades or centuries beyond human capability. He claimed that the security was extremely dangerous, that workers were heavily monitored, armed security escorted personnel. Information was compartmentalized. Overlap, man. Scientists often knew nothing outside of their specific assignment. Again, overlap. He claims that another scientist was killed. He stated that he was brought in after another scientist was injured or killed during an accident involving the propulsion system. He claims he observed test flights. He claims the government monitored and harassed him, that his phones were tapped. His home was monitored. He was threatened. Records about him disappeared. Bro, at what point is he just the same person? You know what I mean? His education and employment records were erased. Weird. That sounds a lot like one of the guys of the whistleblowers of the Dulce base. He claims that his evidence that he attended Massachusetts Institute of Technology, that his attendance at California Institute of Technology, and parts of his employment history were scrubbed. Skeptics point to a lack of record against him as to why he isn't believable. He then claims that the government has successfully reproduced some of the alien technology. And that is Bob Lazar on Area 51. Does that or does that not sound an awful lot like Phil Schneider and all of the things that he claimed?
Yep.
But for some reason, I feel like, and maybe this is just me, for some reason, I feel like Bob Lazar gets a nod of benefit of the doubt because Area 51 eventually was declassified.
Right.
I feel like if the Dulce base was ever declassified, Paul would receive the same benefit of the doubt.
Paul or Phil?
Both. But Phil, yeah.
Yeah.
I mixed up names. I'm going to say Phil.
Yeah, all good.
But yeah, I feel like Phil Schneider would be given benefit of the doubt if it were ever declassified.
So the $1 million question basically comes down to, is he, are they, a willing plant, an unwilling plant, or correct and somehow allowed to continue to exist and, disseminate information?
Yep.
Like, that's kind of the three options in my head. Like, either they're allowing him to do it because that's his assignment, they're allowing him to do it because he's incorrect and just doing a good job of disinformation for them without intending to, or it's just they don't have as much control over him as they would like to.
Yeah.
But don't feel like they're in a position to do something about it.
And maybe he's just public enough that they don't want to take him out like they did Phil.
Yeah.
Because they already did that with Phil. Yeah. I don't know. It is weird. And Bob Lazar is an enigma. Like I said, I in my mind, looking him up and looking Phil Schneider up, my goodness, there's so much overlap in their stories and what they're saying. And now maybe you could throw out an argument that maybe Phil Schneider, because I think Phil Schneider came after Bob Lazar, that maybe Phil Schneider had claimed some things based off of Bob Lazar's testimonies. And so therefore he already had his information, so he constructed it based off of that. But again, the world back then was a lot different than it is now. And information, they were, I don't know. But
it gets harder and harder to like confirm based on consistency between separate testimonies because everybody has access to all the information.
Yes.
Right. And so like it's so easy now for someone to just read someone else's statement and then make a statement based on that. And then they can just say, oh, I didn't know about that. It's like, you know, it's just tough it's very difficult to verify.
Yes.
My mom and I have talked about that at length, like across, we hadn't talked, I don't know, specifically in this situation, it becomes very relevant of like, you know, that was prior to the age of everyone having access to all this information all the time.
Right. Yeah.
So there's some credibility lies there, but
and
it's hard to know.
And it is. It's like that's part of the problem about this. That's part of the problem with conspiracy theories in general.
Right.
Is that until we have the information, we don't have the information.
Right.
And if the government decides they're never going to give the information out, they're never going to give the information out.
Right.
And if Congress doesn't even know about it, nobody's going to hold them accountable to the information.
Right.
Unless somebody happens to come across some information in a random Freedom of Information Act and it happens to mention the Dulce base. But again, if they name it something other than the Dulce base, because again, this is Area 51, we named it that. It's called something different.
Right.
If the Dulce base is called something different, then they could call it whatever they want in the documents, in the Freedom of Information Act documents, and they can just say, oh yeah, no, that's not the same thing.
Yep.
But, so the people, that's one thing. Now the lore, the legends of the conspiracies. So the things that have been claimed about Area 51. So we already have secret alien base, all that stuff. And this will be kind of what we end on before we get into the Patreon episode. They claim the all of the alien technology and stuff like that. But there's also, just like the Dulce base, alien-human collaboration programs. There's theories that claim that we're working with them and that Area 51 is one of those bases that has multiple different layers. There's claims that there's underground cities and bases beneath Area 51, much like the Dulce base. That there's labs that are miles long and that there's underground rail systems that actually connect it to the Dulce base. There's alien containment facilities, alien containment facilities, and thousands of workers. There's claims on time travel experiments that have gone on at Area 51. There's claims of stargates and interdimensional portals. And again, like you're talking about, they experiment a lot with nuclear bombs going off and stuff like that. It makes you wonder what else they're trying to test. It also talks about that they've captured aliens there. That's where the J-Rod story comes into place. There's also theories there's theories that they have weather and mind control technology that they're experimenting on out there as well. There's the reverse engineering theories, which we've already talked about. There's the theories that Area 51 is just one of the front doors. That it's the front door to the underground and to the interior stuff. And that Area 51 has basically become a distraction. My theory, personally, I think that, I was talking to Phil a little bit about it beforehand, but I don't think Area 51 is Area 51 anymore. In the fact that the base and everything else, unless there's extensive underground stuff there, or in the mountains like the S4, like Bob Lazar claimed, then in that case you've got too much real estate and it's private enough, it doesn't matter. But there's no way that other countries don't just have a satellite dish just watching Area 51 at all times.
Satellite.
Yeah.
Not satellite dish.
Satellite, not the dish. A satellite trained on Area 51 at all times.
Yeah.
There's no way the government is currently using Area 51 for the next projects. I just don't see them, unless they've got some phenomenal jamming technology that they're using there. I don't see them still using Area 51 the way that they were using Area 51. I think they've moved it. And part of it, it makes you wonder if places like the Dulce base and places like that maybe they weren't much more than just a base at the time, where there were some secret facilities and stuff, but over the years became more and more because, there's some heat on Area 51 because, we've got a whistleblower. We've got this. Now we've got people coming out about this. We need to move our stuff. And if they do have underground rails and stuff like that, they could just move everything to a different base like the Dulce base. And now Dulce base would be the main secret facility. But one way or the other, there's another location in my mind, and I don't know where it is, but there's the new Area 51 in my mind's got to be somewhere different.
Your brain's going where my brain's going. Where is it? And what are they doing to cover that up?
Go for it.
Well, no, I don't have an answer.
Okay.
I don't have a theory on it. I just that's where my brain is headed.
Yeah.
Is it in Western North Dakota or Badlands, Black Hill? Where is it?
I don't know, but I don't
either.
There's couple places.
There's something happening.
Yeah.
That I'm gonna find it. We're gonna find it. Somebody will find it.
I remember growing up and seeing how much stuff was being moved around northeast Colorado, southwest, west Nebraska, southeast Wyoming. It almost makes me wonder if there's not a base somewhere. Because
right.
Looking at a map, that's what I was kind of messing with when you walked in. I was looking at the satellite imagery for this region, and my goodness. So if Area 51 is 20 miles from a town, that's the premise, let's say it's got to be at least 20 miles from a town. There's so much real estate in this region that's 20 miles from the nearest town that could easily be a new secret military base. And then there was that, I don't even remember where the rumor I heard it from, but I feel like somebody told me about it. But there's the rumor that it's in way extreme western Nebraska, right near the Wyoming border and stuff like that. Because there's a deep pocket of area on the buttes and stuff like that, that there's just not a whole lot of anything. There's no farm ground and stuff like that. Driving through Wyoming, man, if you drive through Wyoming, there's so many places.
The east half of Wyoming is some of the most desolate land in the Midwest.
There's nothing.
Midwest, Mountain West. There's nothing there.
If I were to put a new military base somewhere, I'm probably picking somewhere like that. Because they don't get a ton of, because Area 51, part of the things I think about is there's not a ton of moisture. It doesn't rain a lot. Temperature isn't too crazy. In those regions of Wyoming, they don't get a ton of moisture.
Yeah.
Temperatures do get a lot colder in the wintertime, but I don't know. But that's, my brain goes to those places. I don't know. But I don't think that Area 51 is Area 51 anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's something different now. It's less classified than it used to be. But one thing about Area 51 that does my brain does kind of go, okay, but what about? So if Bob Lazar is legit, and they had thousands of people flying in and off Area 51 on Janet, I'm curious why more whistleblowers haven't come out about it. Because if now it's declassified, you know what I mean? Come out, share more about it. I don't know. Area 51 is more of an enigma. I'm glad we covered it after the Dulce base, because doing research on the Dulce base forced me to think about Area 51 a little differently. And I don't know if I'd have seen Bob Lazar the same way had we done the episode before the Dulce Base episode.
Yeah.
I'd have probably been, I don't know. But anyway, Bob Lazar, he's got a lot of crazy tales. He's fun to listen to. Even if it's all fake, he's fun to listen to.
Yeah.
He's got tales and tales and tales of stuff that he was allegedly involved in. But it all had to have been before he was 30, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so sometimes it makes you wonder how he was involved in that many alien things before he was 30.
Bro had to have been like ridiculously smart.
Yeah.
Like genius and picked up. Maybe he was, well, that would have been like before Gate, I guess. But maybe there was like a precursor to Gate. I don't know. That's the thing, right? It's hard to like figure out how far back a lot of this stuff goes. Like when exactly did a lot of this start? Like it seems like the 40s, like around World War II and the end of World War II is kind of when a lot of this stuff started to really jump off.
Yeah.
But how
post paperclip?
Yeah. How fast did it get big and how big? What? Oh, shut up. What? Never mind.
I said post paperclip.
Was that funny?
No.
Why were you laughing?
No, I wasn't laughing.
Yes, you were.
No, I wasn't.
Okay.
I was just kind of smirking.
Okay.
Continue. My bad. Zero facial expressions. No more facial expressions.
How quickly did it... I hate you. What was the rate of...
he's covering his eyes. I wish I had
video. We can't see it. It can't make me laugh. Now I'm just staring at 6. He's staring back. He's laughing. No. All right. I lost it. It's over.
Okay.
It's over.
What were you saying?
I don't know.
Okay. I'm sorry.
It doesn't matter. When did it become... It's... Like, when did it take effect? Like, when did these programs start to actually have effect, reach their goal, make stuff happen? You know, it's hard to know. It's fun to theorize.
Yeah.
But anywho, shut up, 6.
I wonder. I'm gonna look really quick. Sorry, bear with me.
You got 30 seconds. We got to end this episode. I stuffed 2 granola bars in my face before I left the house. That's what I'm running on.
Good. I want to see if there's any... Oh, okay. I was going to see if there was any official Operation Paperclip scientists that went to Area 51. But there's no... Again, the Paperclip is such an... Again, it's such a blank check.
Yeah.
You know, these people got new identities, so there's no way in telling.
Yeah.
But there are some people who have alleged that Area 51, just by a quick Google search, that Operation Paperclip definitely sent some people to Area 51 because of the aircraft that they were working on.
Yeah. But the timing and the location and the contents
just makes
sense.
But,
yeah.
All right. Well, with that,
sorry. My pop filter.
Oh no, you're good. With that, we'll call it there. And this is one I wouldn't mind coming back and doing another episode on because we really, I feel like we skimmed the surface.
There's a lot to dig into here. Yeah.
And I'll put it on our episode list to come back and do an Area 51 Part 2.
Maybe we could tie that into a Lockheed Martin episode.
That would be awesome.
Because I feel like there's a lot to dig into there as well.
That would be awesome. Okay, so with that, don't forget to go to Patreon, patreon.com/BABigfoot. If you want, we're going to continue the conversation. If you didn't feel like you got everything out of this episode that you wanted, we're going to continue it on Patreon. Patreon listeners, you'll get the episode in a few days after you hear this one. And then if you want your energy and supplements, go to insanelabs, spelled with a Z.com. Use the code BABigfoot for a 45%. You get a 45% discount on all things related to supplements. Oh, not all things. A lot of things related to supplements.
And they're tasty. and
amazing
their
stuff.
branding is dope. If you're a
Awesome
sucker for good branding like I am, then you'll enjoy their stuff because it's cool. I'm staring at a clown bobblehead figurine thing with pointy teeth.
That'll probably
His
end up
name
on
is
our video
Six.
set. Yeah,
He's dope. They made him.
he's a clown.
He's a clown.
Anyway, with that, don't forget to
Be your BA best.
we love you guys, and okay, bye.
Bye.
In the ancient days of giants, when the earth was wild and free, a creature roamed the valleys, cloaked in mystery. Is he born of angels' blood and man, a Nephilim so tall, or a shadow of the fallen, yet heeding the Maker's call? He's a biblically accurate Bigfoot, with a lineage from the skies. Not a myth or legend, but a truth that never dies. Is he a remnant of the Nephilim, a titan standing tall? Or does he have the word of God upon him, the last to hear the call?